The video you're about to see first aired on our NFL draft-focused YouTube channel. Go subscribe there for more draft coverage, youtube.com/chatNFL. If you guys love the NFL draft, you've come to the right spots. I'm a big fan because, again, I have no life and I'm a very large nerd. So if you want more NFL draft videos and you like it, then like the video right now. It's that simple. As promised, a new 2024 NFL mock. I like doing these early in the year because you get some changes in where teams are drafting, right? So this is based, I will say, on our power rankings order. So I'll put that video link in the comment section, the description, and you guys can get in there and go complain over there. But it's fun early on this season. The Bears then have the number 1 overall pick. And although I like Justin Fields, if the Bears get the number 1 pick, it has to be a quarterback. And it should be Caleb Williams out of USC. Ideally, with a non-Luke Getsy-led offense, get some new regime pieces in there again, and let's make sure we don't let Caleb Williams bust like some other Bears quarterbacks have done in all of their chances. Denver at 2. It means Russell Wilson didn't get it figured out, and it means you have to draft somebody. I think Sean Payton would love Drake Maye. Like, Drake Maye operates a bit more in structure. He can do those middle-of-the-field throws, the strikes. There's been some inconsistencies, sure. There's flashes of, I call it goober football, of like, just be a little bit more normal. You know, chaos plays. Caleb Williams makes out of structure, too. Drake Maye can do them in structure sometimes. But I love Drake Maye. Big fan of his game. If Denver's at 2, unconvinced they'll end there, you got to take the quarterback. No way around it. The Bears at number 3. It's Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison. You know, I love Fashanu, don't get me wrong. But DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison, Caleb Maye, that team can't be bad anymore if that's your personnel. At that point, it's on the organization to have success. Number 4, Quinn Ewers. Arizona's actually been much more competitive than I thought, but if they end up with the number 4 overall pick, by the way, number 3 was from the Bears, or was from the Panthers for the Bears. If the Cardinals end up at the number 4 overall pick, means the quarterback play just wasn't good enough. So you'll probably want to press reset, or they'll trade down. We'll go quarterback. I love the fit at number 5. How about Shedeur Sanders, Colorado? Unconvinced he'll turn pro, by the way. Makes some sense for him to stay at school. I know Mel called him a top 3 quarterback and future number 1 pick lock, which I thought was a bit of a bait comment there from Mel Kiper. But wouldn't Deion Sanders' kid in Vegas just be fun? Like, get rid of Josh McDaniels. Let's bring in somebody good. And I think the Sanders vibe in Vegas would be oh so much fun. Still not sure he's going to turn pro. I think he could actually go back for one more year. And again, there's a lot of projection involved here anyway. Will Shedeur Sanders turn pro this year? Y for yes, N for no. Go vote at the pinned comment of today's video. This pick via the Texans here for the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know what the overall defensive plan is for this draft. What I mean by that is, who's actually going to be the first defensive player taken? I think that is very much up in the air. I like Kool-Aid McKinstry. Arizona needs some dogs at corner. I like the fit. The Vikings at 7, J.J. McCarthy. If you're drafting top 10, you're probably not going to retain Kirk Cousins. Let's add McCarthy, who I like his play style. I'm higher on him than most. There's still some inconsistencies. That's fine. He's young, hasn't played anybody yet this year. I like the arm talent, the mobility. I think he throws a very pretty catchable football. All kind of awkward, coaching stuff, but I like it a lot. I think the Giants would sprint to the podium here and take Fashanu at number 8. He's a tackle, kick Evan Neal to guard or put Fashanu at guard, whatever. You need offensive line talent. You should sprint to the podium to get, I think, the best non-Marvin Harrison / quarterback in this year's class. Tennessee, I have been very underwhelmed so far by Andre Dillard. Like Peter Skoronski, seeing the occasional flash from Dylan Radin. Maybe it's not done for him yet. You need a tackle. Let's go with Joe Alt here out of Notre Dame. I thought he played very well against Ohio State. Brock Bowers. I would love to see Shane Steichen with an elite tight end / also kind of just a slot receiver. Like, you look at what Indy has personnel-wise. They're using Kylan Granson. He's not a bad football player, don't get me wrong. And I like Josh Downs too. But Brock Bowers, you want more playmakers for Anthony Richardson? This is the best one on the board. And tight ends are tough to find in the end, like find spots for them. I think Shane Steichen would thrive with Brock Bowers. Today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. They are the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. It's just you against the numbers. You're not battling thousands of other players and pros and sharks. It's just the stat projections. You pick more than or less than on 2 to 6, and you can turn $10 into $250 with just a few taps. Here are my picks. I've got this week. I got a couple different options, the plays, if you will, out there. Dak Prescott, more than 22.9 and a half passing yards. I can go for 250 pretty easily. Derrick Henry, less than 74.5 is way too high. Forgot that's hit that number once so far this year behind a not good Titans offense. And Calvin Ridley, revenge game. Give me the more than 65 and a half against his old team with some not great cornerback play outside of A.J. Terrell. I like the power plays. Get 5X if you hit on all three. If you don't, you lose. You could also go, the flex play, hit 2 out of 3, and you'll get at least 1.25X your return. You get all three, you do the flex play, they'll still give you more, 2.25X, but I'm not a coward. I go all in. Folks, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Again, folks, it's prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. The Jets get to keep their first round pick. Yay. How about some tackle help for whoever your quarterback is next year? Amarius Mims, injured right now, but I like him a lot. He could still be a top 10 pick. Patriots, right tackle remains a big fat question mark. Well, there's a replacement. J.C. Latham, who has been good for a not as good as we normally see Bama offensive line. I didn't really know where to go with the Commanders here. I'm not putting any more quarterbacks in round 1. I'll just go best player available. Here's your Montez Sweat replacement. And or maybe you figure out what you're going to do with Chase Young long term. Dallas Turner, a little bit undersized, not the biggest guy, but he is a very, very talented pass rusher who has really upped his game the past 2 weeks to be a real high-end impact player. So I capped my first-round quarterbacks today at Caleb Williams, Drake May, Quinn, Ewers, Shedeur, Sanders, Jim McCarthy. It's 5. It's a lot. How many quarterbacks end up going in round 1 of the 2024 NFL Draft? Drop that number, 0 to, can't be more than 7, I would think, but sound off right now. Rams, they need more pass rush help. Jared Verse, bigger body than Turner, has been very quiet so far, but still probably would have been a top 20 pick, so I'm not going to freak out quite yet. I don't know if Mike Evans will be back next year in Tampa. Go safety here. I love what Malik Neighbors has done this year. Give me him to the Bucks. And then Denzel Burke. Let's get some more corners, baby. JPJ will be a piece long-term. They need another one long-term. I think Burke has played really well this year. I think he's taken a step forward. I think that's going to continue. So give me Burke in the mid part of round 1. He could be a little riser this year. Not far behind him, maybe the most chess pieceable corner. Can play some nickel, can play some outside, can play some safety. Is a prime special teams piece. Cooper DeJean out of Iowa. He's good. He's really good. I love picking safeties for Green Bay because Rudy Ford and Darnell Savage, I don't love that much. Cameron Kinchins is a playmaker at the safety spot. Love his fit in Green Bay. They need some more of those on that side of football. Latu out of UCLA, who's had an awesome year. It's been very quiet for most of the top defensive players. I think Latu is been maybe the most consistently disruptive player in college football this year. He's got 4 sacks, a forced fumble, an INT as well. Only 13 tackles, but he's gotten after quarterbacks this year. Do not sleep on him. The medical has to get cleared. The Jags need a pass rusher, after all. Now, if you have not already, please subscribe to us here at Chat Sports. YouTube.com/ChatSportsTV. Free videos when you hit that sub button. Yeah, the Trey Flowers experiment is not working in Atlanta. Let's try somebody else. How about Kalen King? I assume they'll pay A.J. Terrell long term. If not, hey, some added flexibility for the Falcons. Didn't know where to go for the Saints, frankly. Maybe some roster moves will come at the end of the year with cuts and stuff to help make it more obvious. How about J.T. Sanders? Jimmy Graham touchdowns in 2023 are fun, but also they should not be happening in 2023 for your team. Here's a playmaker at tight end. Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State. This is we didn't want to pay T. Higgins $25 million, so we flipped him for a pick and drafted a new elite number 2 to keep our passing offense going on all cylinders. Not the funnest outcome, but losing Higgins, but it actually might be feasible this year for Cincinnati. Who is your favorite 2024 NFL draft prospect? Not the best necessarily, just your favorite. Let me know in the comments section. Drazan Newton next up here out of Illinois to Seattle. Let's get some disruption, some playmaking on the interior of that D-line, both for Seattle and for Houston. Leonard Taylor III out of Miami. He's a very good football player, folks. Trust me on that one. I like what he offers. Houston, they need that 3 technique now for DeMeco Ryans, that interior presence. Maybe Taylor be the guy. By the way, very good tackle class, both DT and OT. More corner help for Baltimore. Nate Wiggins. I like his game. He looks like a lanky, long, athletic outside corner. I think have a very good shot at being a first-round pick this year. Newcomer in our mock draft to the Detroit Lions, T'Vondre Sweat. He's really taken a step forward this year. Really great numbers across the board from just a disruption standpoint. Love his fit along the Lions front. Still keep Hutchinson as an interior rusher too, but Sweat would help. Keon Coleman to the Bills. Gabe Davis is Gabe Davis. You're using some more two-end sets, that's fine. Keon Coleman as a big body threat. I love that for Josh Allen. I went Patrick Paul here for Houston. Do make note, not the same Houston lineman that puked everywhere in the game. I'm sure you saw the viral clip. Not that one. The other one. He's really good, though. And I think just as we've seen, when in doubt, give the Cowboys a first-round pick on the offensive line. They'll normally hit it. Let's get the Chiefs another receiver because it's not worked out so far yet. Rome Odunze out of Washington. They got some awesome playmakers, the Huskies do. They got 3 draftable receivers right now. That's Ohio State stuff. I love what Odunze offers as a bigger threat. Chop Robinson finally got going last week. He's been very quiet before that. I've been underwhelmed by him. But a big game, local kid. You're not going to keep Brandon Graham forever. You have some good pass rushers. Eagles love premium players, like position players, edges, receivers, corners. Edge there and Chop Robinson. McKinley Jackson to the Dolphins. There's kind of your Raekwon Davis nose guard replacement. Don't sleep on McKinley Jackson. My guy Dalton Miller loves him, and I understand why. He also was the first one to tell me that Aleem McNeil was going to be good, and Aleem McNeil's really good. The Niners, I went with Graham Barton. I might regret that, come April of he was a day 2 pick, or maybe Cooper Beebe. But I do want to get some more O-line help for San Francisco because Trent Williams, as great as he is, simply can't play forever. So who did I leave out of my 2024 NFL mock draft? A lot of players I know, and I want to hear from you guys in the comments section. right now. Some names to consider. I wanted to find a spot for Kalen Bullock. I actually had him in there, and then I flipped it to get the other receiver in, so it didn't quite work out time-wise. He'd be 33. Love his game at USC right now. Tyler Nubin's played great. Other edges, D linemen. Princely from Florida has been really impactful. There's some buzz on Braylon Trice. Not as high on him. Chris Jenkins is part of like a Michigan team's going to have 10 draft picks this year. It's kind of insane. Xavier Worthy's got some speed on the outside. I think he's a better player for now than A.D. Mitchell. Josh Newton could be a first-round pick. Barrett Carter, I think, is a top off-ball linebacker, but I don't love that class for now. Someone might emerge. Slower starts for both Mason Smith and JT Tuimaloau. Some inconsistencies there from JT still. There's talent, but I got to see more of it as we get further and further along into projections.